Welcome back. Today, we're diving into one of the most intense discussions surrounding Kaspa right now, a topic that has traders, analysts, miners, and long-term holders all watching the charts a little more closely than usual. There's a major situation developing under the surface, and while nobody can say with certainty how the price will react, the data paints a picture that's hard to ignore. From a huge cluster of short positions sitting at critical levels, to long-term holder strength hitting new records, to infrastructure breakthroughs that could transform Kaspa's real-world utility, we're unpacking everything in depth. So let's jump right in. This video is for educational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Always do your own research before investing in crypto. The first point everyone is talking about is the unusually large block of short positions gathered around the 5-cent zone. Reports across multiple platforms indicate that a pile of leveraged short interest has built up right above current price levels. Now, I'm not here to pretend I know which way the price will move next. Nobody with integrity can promise that. But what's clear is that if Kaspa climbs aggressively into that zone, those positions become vulnerable to liquidation. And when heavily leveraged shorts start getting squeezed, buying pressure tends to snowball. Moves that normally take days can happen in minutes. A respected trader highlighted that this setup is especially interesting because of Kaspa's behavior after a brutal drawdown. Kaspa went through a devastating 476-day downturn, losing around 83% from its July 2024 peak of 20 cents. Most assets don't recover gracefully from something like that. Yet, despite the pressure, Kaspa managed to maintain a monthly close above 3.7 cents, an important structural level. According to analysts comparing historical trends, this kind of resilience is similar to what Bitcoin has shown at major cycle bottoms. It doesn't guarantee a breakout, but it does suggest the possibility of a shift in momentum, especially with the current price circulating around the 5.3 cent region. If this level holds and volume steadily rises, it could mark the early stages of a reversal rather than just a temporary bounce. Now here's something that separates speculators from believers. The percentage of Kaspa that has remained untouched for more than 2 years has climbed to a fresh all-time high of 16.5%. Let that sink in. While short-term traders jump in and out, a rising number of holders are choosing patience and conviction. These individuals aren't shaken out during dips. They aren't chasing quick pumps. They're quietly accumulating and sitting through the noise. Historically, whenever long-term holder metrics increase like this, it often signals tightening supply, a dynamic that typically precedes major market movements. But of course, holding alone is meaningless without serious development happening behind the scenes. Luckily, the development side is where things become very compelling. Let's start with Eager Layer 2. Their team recently deployed version 2 of their node software to staging, and they're gearing up to release something called Galleon. While the exact function hasn't been officially confirmed, analysts believe it could be a foundational wallet or bridging mechanism, but that isn't the only thing being built. Igra Labs, formed by former DAG Labs members, is developing base rollups designed to operate directly on Kaspa. These rollups aim for performance benchmarks that rival even some mainstream ecosystems, up to 3,000 transactions per second, sub-second finality, fractional cent fees, and, most importantly, no centralized sequencer. That last part is huge because it keeps the system truly decentralized, unlike many L2s that rely on a centralized bottleneck. If these rollups work as intended, they pave the way for DeFi applications, stablecoins, DEXs, and other high-throughput use cases. They also enhance the security and usefulness of Kaspa's base layer heading into 2025. Igra is positioning itself as the backbone that could push Kaspa beyond theory and into real adoption. Another notable initiative is Project Orion, which analysts say is seeking around $180 million through a combination of safe agreements and Kaspa treasury resources. Their mission? To build a system capable of ingesting real-world data streams with sub-second and tamper-proof guarantees. This would target industries like high-frequency trading, IoT networks, and digital advertising, sectors that demand reliability at massive scale. Orion's projections envision Kaspa as a potential $1 to $3 trillion utility if these capabilities are executed correctly. Why such a high valuation model? Because Kaspa's architecture, high-speed proof of work producing over 1,000 blocks per second, enables something unique: statistical truth sampling paired with 45% Byzantine tolerance for just a fraction of a cent per kilobyte. Some reports claim this could outperform centralized giants like Amazon Web Services and decentralized oracles like Chainlink under similar benchmarks. Conservative estimates for 2030 suggest that if Kaspa secures even a modest share of these data-driven markets, miners alone could earn $35 to $45 billion in annual fees. Depending on revenue capture, this could theoretically translate to market values anywhere between $120 billion and $1.8 trillion. But again, that's potential, not promise. Before anyone starts imagining overnight wealth, let's stay grounded. Kaspa's current market cap is roughly $1.4 billion. None of these future valuations are guaranteed. Adoption has not yet been proven, and the risk is enormous. Bringing this ecosystem to life requires flawless engineering, regulatory clarity, partnerships across multiple industries, and sustained user adoption. The opportunity is huge, but so are the obstacles. One recent improvement worth noting is Kaspa's bridge integration with ChangeNow. You can now convert more than 850 cryptocurrencies directly into Kaspa with roughly a 1% fee, no KYC, and non-custodial security. An example transaction showed someone swapping 1,000 UST for just over 17,000 Kaspa in under 5 minutes. This may seem like a small convenience, but removing friction is one of the biggest factors in attracting new users. Cheaper and faster swaps compared to alternatives like Tangem give Kaspa a competitive edge in onboarding newcomers. What's also notable is that market sentiment toward Kaspa has remained consistently bullish. Across multiple sentiment tracking platforms, Kaspa has stayed near the top for months and is currently ranked 3rd overall. This isn't the kind of hype-driven spike you see with meme coins. Instead, it reflects sustained confidence from a community that believes in the fundamentals and watches ongoing development very closely. Another topic gaining attention involves power law modeling of hash rate growth. Analysts comparing Kaspa and Bitcoin found incredibly strong fits, 94% for Kaspa and 96% for Bitcoin, suggesting both networks follow predictable long-term security expansion patterns. Current projections show Kaspa's hash rate potentially increasing by around 550%, reaching close to 4 exahash per second by the end of 2025. Bitcoin's model suggests around 5,198 exahash. Interestingly, Kaspa's exponent is steeper due to its younger, faster-growing network and the efficiencies introduced by block DAG architecture. Kaspa rising from 0.1 EH per second in 2023 to potentially over 1 EH per second by late 2025 reflects genuine network strengthening, which is essential for long-term value. To wrap everything up, Kaspa is at one of the most interesting points in its life cycle. You have massive short positions at critical levels, long-term holders accumulating more than ever, sentiment that refuses to break, and a development pipeline that could transform Kaspa from a fast proof-of-work chain into a real-world data engine with trillion-dollar potential. But none of this comes without risk. Execution, adoption, regulation, these hurdles are all very real. Still, whether Kaspa delivers the future its supporters envision or not, one thing is clear: this project is no longer just a speculative meme. It's evolving, expanding, and attracting serious attention for a reason. Thanks for watching. Like the video, drop your thoughts in the comments, and hit subscribe if you want more real-time updates, moves, market trends, and hidden gems.